never replace the eventual thing. What, Corey? I mean, that. Good evening, all you minties. Welcome back to another episode of Reelz Talk with your host, the amazing Amanda, and my lovely co-host, the uncanny Omar.
Yes, this will be the last of the Reelz. Why am I echoing? Is it? Oh, we're good.
Okay. You're good. Yeah.
This is the last of the Reelz Talk I'll be on for a couple of weeks because I am going on vacation starting next week, and filming things left and right. So. So let's make it a good one. What are we talking about today? Anime, Messenger Z. What are we talking? X-Men? We talking ranking our X-Men movies? What do we do? What fun thing?
I would love to rank we still haven't done that. Rank the X-Men movies. We are going to talk about nostalgic vintage shirts today and why everyone's wearing them and how you can get your hands on one. Now, that's what we were talking about actually. But no, we are going to be talking about House of the Dragon season 2. Episode 1, which did come out on Sunday. Hopefully everyone now has a chance to watch it. If you haven't, I've watched it several times. I don't know why, because that mainly for that Allison scene with Christian or whatever his name is, because that's pretty sexy.
Okay, which is exactly what we need back in a show. Sexy.
Well, unless you're going to watch Bridgerton, there's plenty of sex in there, and it is.
I'm good. Are there any dragons in Bridgerton? Because
nope. Just the one dangling between their legs.
Wow, it's going to be that type of show. Okay.
Oh, Griffin X. I do want to rank all the Fall Out Boy albums one day.
Okay. Griffin X. Can we just do one episode? Being that it's my last one for a while. Apparently the sex scene was even hotter, but it was edited. Woo!
Oh man.
Really? Now, is there asking for a friend, is there an unedited version of said scene out there that I can view?
How would you even view that? Someone would have had to leak it.
Really? James, can you find that for me? The
if anyone
was scarier than blood and cheese.
Oh, as a mother, I know that's a really weird thing. It's not a weird thing to say, but it was hard to watch the blood and cheese. I know it's not like the same as the book, and we could talk about that. But it was still hard to watch.
DVD bonus scene. Thank you so much. That's where I will find it then. So we are back to Westeros, and I forgot this show came out in 2021, right? We haven't had a season.
2022. So it's been 2 years, and obviously because of the strikes, there was a lot of delays in getting this out. And so that is partly the reason why it has been 2 years since we have had a House of the Dragon. But it still pushed great numbers for HBO Max or Max. Sorry, Zaslev. I know. No.
Oh, is he watching? You watching?
No. If he watches later, it's just Max. But it did pull some great numbers as far as viewership goes. So it seems like a lot of people are anticipating it, looking forward to it. And that's much needed for Max because their viewership numbers haven't been good because after The Last of Us, there really hasn't been anything on Max that I would consider like must see TV.
Wasn't that NBC?
Yeah, but then it became HBO when they started throwing out Sopranos and Sex in the City and all that stuff.
Sex in the City and Sopranos. Yeah, they were up there. I mean, it seems like for a long time, the HBO era reigned supreme with Sopranos, with Tombstone, Deadwood, and Carnival, and Rome. I mean, it was show after show they were doing on Sunday nights. Was the night to watch HBO 6 Feet Under. It is interesting that we have one show though. Like it used to be like 3 or 4 shows on Sunday night was the block.
Yep.
And it dominated. And then eventually, like AMC caught on to this block that they could own without having to pay those premium cable prices for HBO. I'm just glad that we have something that we can look forward to dropping at a particular time on a particular day. What's up, Delusionals Arcade? How have you been, brother? During the 90s, we had TGIF.
Yeah.
A little different, but yes, you did.
That was must-see TV for a lot of folks.
For a lot of folks, yeah. But it's cool to have a show that premieres at a particular time at nighttime when you can have people over and be like, hey, let's get together and watch House of the Dragons. I thought that's what's missing from television these days because everything is streaming, right? I don't know. Do the youth? I can't believe I'm asking that.
Are you watching?
Are you all having get-togethers to watch these shows? Or are you like, man, it's dropping at 6 o'clock in the morning and it's noon. I've already watched the whole damn season. I ain't going to your house to no party, even though you're serving cheese and wine. No, thank you. I'm staying at home in my underwear.
Blood and cheese wine. Ooh, the spin on it.
Filming House of the Dragon Season 2 was not affected by the strikes. Different actors and writers.
I forgot about they were still filming during that time.
So does it take 2 years then in between seasons? Is that what we're saying?
Could have been the writing. That could have been it.
The youth are too busy getting off lawns. Thank you for that. Ooh, we're gonna talk about that ending. My goodness, those sounds.
Nope. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am curious if people are still getting together to watch shows because I love that about I used to do that with my friends when we would watch The Sopranos and Deadwood, and then I used to get together with Amanda to do Game of Thrones, and then we'd do a show right afterwards. We would do a show when Game of Thrones the last 2 seasons. Oh God, we did the last season of Game of Thrones. Yeah. They already said it would take 2 years when the season ended. Oh.
Okay, so they did. Well, and it's only 8 episodes too. So we're only getting 8 episodes this time around instead of 10. Yeah. Which hopefully that means quality content. They're not going to rush anything. But again, this isn't like Game of Thrones. We know where the end is. There is an actual ending to this Dance of the Dragons, right? The saga does end at some point. We know what it is. Whether or not they take a different route, mix things up, clearly they've, play around with some of the details is to be seen. But I do have confidence that it's not going to be, pushed along too much. All right.
I also thought the intro was really cool with the threads and all that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Are they making like a family quilt, you think?
Maybe.
But of the Targaryens?
The Targaryen family.
I think they said seasons 4 to wrap it up. And apparently the ending was more graphic in the books. I think you read the books. I have not read the books.
Well, Dance of the Dragon. Yeah, I did read that one. Yeah. So I knew, but it is more graphic. It's a little bit more. Are we talking spoilers? Can we talk spoilers?
Of the ending already?
Yeah, right. No, it's different because she has 3 children in the book, not 2 boys and a girl. So it's different. And when Blood and Cheese show up, first of all, Allison's, they go to Allison first, they tie her up, then they have her, they have the queen bring the children, and the queen, Helena brings the children, and they basically say, you got to pick which boy dies. Not the girl, because obviously son for a son, right? And she refuses at first, but then they say, they force her to choose, and she chooses Maelor, and they kill Jaharis instead. So now Maelor has to live with the fact that his mother eventually just chose him to die. And of course, this leads her, she was already strange, but that of course leaves her in a downward spiral from there. Her mental health just goes insane. But this one, it was a little bit different. I was worried that she was going to have them kill the girl by accident, and that's what was happening. And I was like, no, don't sacrifice your daughter because these men are evil. But she didn't.
Jesus. Yeah, that was a rough scene. So give me the setup for this, Amanda. What is going on in Game of Thrones?
What's you mean House of Dragon?
What is this story? Has some time passed? Because I feels like I'm so used to time passing in House of the Dragons that when it's no time that has passed, it just feels really weird. Yeah,
no, it doesn't take place very much longer after the event, the ending of season 1. Rhaenyra has gone off on her dragon to find Lucerys's remains, and in the meantime, Daemon's like, we need like it's time to strike, and I forget her name. Who's the older lady's name?
Who's the oldest lady? The lady
with the House of the Dragon that escaped last season.
I know.
Anyways, but she's like, until she sees and there's proof, she's not going to believe that her son is dead. So we're not going to do anything quite yet. In the meantime, her older son was up in.
Thank you, Insane Productions. Is it
Thank you, Reneus. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Reneus. Thank you for that.
So what happens is, it actually starts out with us visiting Winterfell and seeing how they chose the men to go to the wall. And back then with Lord Cregan Stark and Rhaenyra's older son had gone up that way to seek the alliance, make sure that they were still with Rhaenyra, see if they would pledge any support that they can. So we get to see the wall kind of in its infancy, not in its infancy, but we kind of get to see the wall in its heyday, right? Where everyone is chosen. There's this big hurrah. And Cregan Stark takes her son to the wall so that he can kind of look over everything, and they have a discussion. And he basically is like, I support Rhaenyra, but we don't have the men. We don't have the manpower like to do this. He eventually does give him some basically men who have seen a lot of winters, right? He does pledge, I think, 2,000 troops, which is good. And her son makes a comment about, what is this wall trying to keep out? Wildlings and she's like, no, death. And I was like, ooh, spoiler alert. That's going to be important. And then you get to see him.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to see something like that happen. Like, the coming of the... I haven't read the books, so I don't know if it's going to show some like the Night King and all that, because I didn't think that was happening until the era of Game of Thrones, which is exactly how many years after this?
Oh gosh, I mean, you're talking many generations after this.
Really? I thought this was like the grandparents' generation. Like, how many generations is it apart? Like, set from?
Gosh. I don't know why you'd ask me that question.
Oh, because we're talking about House of the Dragon. I didn't know that was a difficult question.
Here we go. How many years? 200 years. Sorry.
Oh, damn. Okay. Well, they're a little bit apart.
That's a couple generations. You've got some people in the middle there. Yeah, there's a couple of folks. So it's quite a big gap, which is good. But again, also, I guess technology does not move rapidly in Westeros because things still feel the same 200 years into the future.
The throne looks bigger. I like that. Sure. It was big in the books.
Yes, it's big in the books, but it's interesting that little has changed. But I guess maybe progress is progress. So anyways, so of course that's going on over there. And then we also have Aegon being king, and he has his council meetings, and of course he belittles and makes a fool of the Lannister that's on the council, who is bothered by his young son Jaehaerys, who's hanging out at the council. And he's like, oh, would you like to ride him? And has a horse. We like him to be your pony. But luckily, of course, Otto was able to stop all of that. But at the same time, Alicent, since this is her son and she feels like she should have some say, she's getting frustrated with her father because he keeps undermining her at every chance and she believes that her sons will never listen to her. Of course, they're not happy with Aemon and what he's done with Lucerys. So he's kind of been, not to say black sheep, but he's not around a lot in this episode, but I'm certain we will see him in more episodes. Meanwhile, this is really the main crux of the episode, is seeing what Aegon's rule is starting to look like. For example, he's hearing the plea of the common folk, and when one farmer is saying that he doesn't have enough crops or have enough livestock, he's like, well, we'll give you your sheep back to you. That's fine. And Otto's like, wait a minute, but we're about to go to war. We need those sheep to feed your dragons because we're about to go to war. They're going to be flying a lot. They're going to get hungry and tired. And so you're starting to see the influence of the Hand of the King.
I'll be dead honest. I'm with Ryan. I don't remember a lot of season 1. I didn't have the time to go back and watch season 1. But did this happen in between the seasons? Like Aegon being married to his sister and having 2 babies?
No, because not that much time has passed. So I have to go back and watch season 1, but I thought they had perhaps gotten married.
Yeah, maybe. Because we got a lot of time jumps in season 1, and it seems like not that much time has passed because she's still looking for the body of her son. Wonder if the Winds of Winter's finally finished, we'll get a Game of Thrones adaptation of which. Oh, can you imagine like trying to get the whole cast back for that? I don't think most people would do it.
No, you just have to. Given the fact that by the time that is over, you might as well just cast all new actors.
Yes. He's trying to be like his father. I forgot how many time jumps. We just gotten 2 seasons of the series. There have been some kids they didn't show. Oh, man. That's a lot of characters we're already dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine like the cast of Game of Thrones coming back to do let's do a director's cut, or I guess a writer's cut of the story. I don't know. Some of them did like the characters, right? Some of them liked the story enough.
Yeah. You mean the main cast of Game of Thrones? Yeah, some of them did. I mean, a lot of them still love their characters and what they created. Whether or not they like the ending, I don't think that really matters as much as they still have the characters still have a special place in their heart. Does that make sense? So yeah, they still enjoyed it. So yeah. So of course, Alicent is now also learns from
that did happen in season 1. Her husband getting thrown off the boat.
Yes.
Why are the 2 female protagonists are the only ones who age? Oh, you mean in the time jump? Because I think they were kids. They were supposed to be 15 years old. So that makes sense, right? Like if you're going to time jump, you're going to have to replace the teenagers because they're going to change anyway, right? Like they're going to get older, especially now that they're supposed to be in their 30s. They're in their 30s during this time, right?
Yes, correct. And because keep in mind, everyone else was already adults. And once you reach adulthood, besides some of the like makeup to age them and give them wrinkles, they're pretty much going to look like that, right? Because even Daemon was an adult. We know that. And the only person who really aged fast was the poor king. But that's because
dude, I remember that dude took forever to die in season 1. I was like, how is this guy still alive? Wow.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah, so I think that's the reason why they're the only 2 that you're going to see, because it gives it the more gravitas about the relationship if you see them as young girls and then eventually growing up into women who now have to be on, opposite sides because of the paths they chose and the choices they made. All because Alicent misheard the king on his deathbed and thinks that he was talking about her kids. We know he wasn't.
You think that she really misheard? Is that the way it was interpreted in the books?
Oh, yes. In the books, it was interpreted that she truly believed that's what he said. No, that she wasn't doing it just to spite Rhaenyra. So
does the budget for this season, I wonder, is it still $20 million? I remember it was like $20 million for the first season. That was expensive. Like, that is an expensive show. But only 8 episodes, though. That's shorter than season 1.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, it was $20 million for last season for each episode. So they have not yet revealed the numbers.
That's the way I took it, Griffin X. Like she heard what she wanted to hear.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, she could have heard that. The king was still alive for Olivia could. But they cut the number of F-signs for story reasons. That makes sense.
How many books? No, is this based on 2 books or 1 book?
I thought it was all based off of Dance of the Dragons, which is just 1.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Maybe that's why.
The history of the Targaryens, essentially.
Which honestly I'm good with.
Yeah. Because, I mean, he hasn't had time to write a lot else. He should be still working on Winds of Winter. Which, again, we could just recast everyone because by the time he's done with that and we get a proper ending to Game of Thrones, I don't know if Peter Dinklage is going to want to come back or Nikolai or anyone like that. So, but yeah, I thought they had to increase the budget for a little bit for season 2, but the numbers haven't been released yet as far as official numbers for what the budget is. So anyway, Alicent is hearing from Lars Strong, who's, she's kind of trying to push away, it seems like, even though she was letting him touch her feet in the last season, or whatever was going on there. But he's kind of warning her that her father, that they're putting people in place like to spy on her. And so you see her starting to worry about this because obviously she's with Kristen now, and well, they're doing their thing. And she starts to she actually tells all of her servants to leave when she's in the bath because she doesn't trust anyone anymore. And then, of course, you have the Valerians, Corlys, Rhaenys, still fighting for Daemon and fighting for Rhaenyra. And of course, Daemon is pushing for the war. He wants the war. He's ready to go to war. But of course, it takes Rhaenyra she finally does find proof that Lucerys is dead. And so now she comes back and she's ready. And it's Daemon's takes, blood and cheese, right? One of them was a rat catcher. The other one was working for Daemon. He's going to the city, or Mysaria, I think, is who helped them, who helped him get them into the city in order to go to the palace. And pretty much their mission was to find the heir to the throne and kill him and bring his head back. And if you watch the episode, you realize Jaehaerys could be no more than maybe 4 years old by the looks of him. Maybe 5.
But is it about the same as last season?
Yeah.
Yeah. This show definitely reminds you how uneasy it is to watch these type of shows. Sometimes, even though nothing was seen, it kind of reminded me of the oh my gosh, what was it? It was what was his name? Ramsay, right? Ramsay and
Ramsay Bolton, yeah.
And what's her name? The Wedding Night. Where you see him sexually assaulting her, even though it's his wife. But you don't really see it. You see it through what's his name? They got his thing chopped off.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Greyjoy. You see it through Greyjoy's eyes, and it's his reaction that makes it awful. And I remember how much people were upset about that episode. Oh, yeah. People were up in arms. How dare they show rape in this? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is these things happen. But it wasn't the way they shot it. I thought it made it even worse because they weren't showing what was happening. They were actually showing somebody's reaction to it. The sound effects is what made this worse because in your head, you can imagine the worst. No matter how bad it is, it can always be worse in your head.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So you not seeing it and just hearing it, it's oh my God.
Oh, that was the worst.
Well, I mean, you're imagining how long it's taking to do this.
Yeah, I know.
Because that poor kid.
I'm sure he by the time it happened, he's dead, right? The life has left him, but still his mother is sitting there watching in horror, and that's what we see, right? Yeah. They're both, and then of course they're both distracted enough that she's able to grab her daughter and race out very quietly out of the room to alert Queen Alicent that the boy is gone, is what she says. And so, of course, that's kind of where it ends, right? The episode ends with just on Alicent's face when she realizes what has just happened, which is this war is going to start now because, they weren't sure if Rhaenyra was going to do something because they were going to try to play it was an accident, that they were trying to make it seem, but she was not taking no prisoners. So now Aegon will go to war because now they have killed his heir.
Well, yeah, she's just surrounding herself with awful people that are making choices without her. You really don't see kids dying on screen. They always pan away. Well, I don't know if Bruce is still watching, but there was a rule that at least cable shows had to abide by. And I remember Masters of Horror broke that rule. And that is what is it? An adult cannot be seen killing a child. a child cannot be seen killing a child, but a child can kill an adult or something like that. And then Masters of Horror with the episode Jennifer completely wrecked that rule. And I don't know if that's still a thing. Like I said, I don't know if Bruce is watching or not. I think he would know. But that was like, maybe it was an unwritten rule, like that people just abided by, or at least cable networks did. But I always found that really interesting, that a child can kill an adult, but not the other way around, or can be seen.
Yes.
I like the messenger teach. Oh, thank you so much. I bought this in Japan. I love this shirt. Thank you. But I don't like this how George goes on comedy shows making fun of fans and not finishing his books. Oh, brother, I gave up that fight 10 years ago.
I'm not even thinking. I don't even think about the books anymore at this point. Everything to me is just fan fiction, that we have to create our own fan fiction because there is no alternative, guys.
We used to joke about Brandon Sanderson finishing the Song of Ice and Fire, but that's not even, like, we don't even need that anymore. We got it finished in TV format.
Yeah. And then I'm sure if anyone wants to write a really awesome fan fiction, they're more than welcome to. No, but someone, I think Kenneth said Rhaenyra went through a lot. Yeah, this first episode, she does go through a lot. And that when is it Jacaerys? Jacaerys is her? Yeah, Jacaerys is her older son. When he comes back from the Starks, right? So we see him in the beginning with the Starks. We don't see him again until after Rhaenyra returns, after she found the remains of Lucerys, which means she knows that he is gone. And that's the second time we get to see Jacaerys, and he comes in and he just is devastated. And you see a moment between the two of them, and you realize, like, you know, there's very few people around Rhaenyra that truly care about her and her feelings, and her son's probably the only one at this point. Everyone else is all out for themselves, especially all the men. They all want to wage war. Daemon is at the top of that. As sexy as Matt Smith is, Daemon is not a great guy. So clearly, by the end of this season, maybe by the end of this show, we're going to realize just what evil men can rot.
I remember in season 1, I was thinking, like, you know, the best characters were the 2 leading ladies. I loved them. And Rhaenyra, who is it? Emma? The actor that's Grace.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just the emotion that they're able to carry.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
And, oh my God, it was awesome. Like, they're just awesome actor.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many names that sound the same. I'm with you.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying my best here.
Yeah, I actually believe there are a lot of people like this. Is it bad that I got more offended by the dog being kicked than a child being killed? I don't know if it's bad, but I also believe that there are people like that out there that, you know, can't stomach. I know several people that can't stomach animals getting hurt, but for some reason it's okay, like when a human or even a child gets hurt. So I get it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
No, that was not me. I mean, I don't like seeing animals or children getting hurt. Both are big issues for me.
That was the joke. It was like, why don't we let Brando Sando finish out Song of Ice and Fire? Just give him the notes, right?
Trying to do a fantastic job. I know.
And yes, rest in peace, Benny.
Yes.
Hell of a voice here on YouTube, man. Gone way too soon. Things are yet mega dark in the show.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. See, that's the thing that I'm missing. I'm missing for like that part of television that is dark and gritty. And part of the reason why I loved Game of Thrones was some of the things that they were doing that no other show would dare do. And I miss that. I don't know what I'm trying to think of other shows that have gone that dark, you know, without the goofy factor. Like The Boys goes into places that you're like, oh, that's somebody's butthole. That's gross.
Yeah.
But but it's like does it in a slapstick kind of way. Whereas Game of Thrones would always push that line of, okay, let's see what we're gonna cross now. Oh,
and where can we go from here?
Yeah, the John Wick rule. That's right. You don't hurt dogs or animals.
No. Yes, I don't like seeing. And it was hard. Did I have my 2-year-old sitting next to me watching her iPad when I watched that scene? Yes. Was it very hard? So
I'll never forget watching. So I love Game of Thrones, and I would always rewatch seasons before the next season, and I'll rewatch season 1 before season 2 came out. And Melanie was interested in it, so I watched it with her and our oldest daughter when she was about 3 years old. And there's a scene where the Mountain gets pissed off during the joust session in season 1, and he cuts off the horse's head.
Mm-hmm.
And Lydia was awake. We thought she was taking a nap, and she's like, "Can we see that again?" Like that's exactly what she said. Can we see that again? And I'll never forget that.
And you're like,
and she's into horror movies, right? Like she loves horror movies.
Yeah, that's how my oldest is. I don't know how my youngest is going to be, but we did watch it. Really,
your oldest already likes things like Megan, which is like a little bit of, like, I mean, not even any kind of horror, right? But oh my gosh, like I can see her
loves Demon Slayer and stuff too. I mean, she just
and Demon Slayer's got some stuff like that are really good. As far as Brando Sando, man, that's my brother. But Mistborn, I did read some of that. And I read the adaptation of the it's part of the Mistborn series. That was the comic book. That's it. I don't know anything else. I know that he loves the Shadows of Self, Way of the King. Like he would not stop talking about the Way of the Kings. And what was the one with Ascension? There's one called something of Ascension. I'm sorry. I haven't read them. I'm busy reading comics. Have you read any Brando Sando?
I read Mistborn. I read at least the first one, but I thought I have something up here that I started. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, White Sand is the comic adaptation that I've read.
But I keep thinking I should read Brandon Sanderson just for the mere fact that it's like the epitome of like he's like with like Tolkien and stuff. Sanderson is one of those like fantasy writers you should read.
Well, and it's really cool, like the world building and magic system that he makes for all these books is insane.
I know.
Somebody was writing this saying that he could write 10 books, and meanwhile,
George Martin still can't finish one freaking book in 20. Oh my gosh! Oh,
I mean, but that's the thing, though, Amanda, and everybody that's watching. Why does he need to?
He doesn't.
He can make as much money just putting his name on a project, whether it's a comic, whether it's a TV show or a movie. And that's it. That's it. I mean, they're like, I really like a lot of comic book artists, but I never see them do internal work anymore. But why do they need to when they can just be cover artists?
Yeah.
They're making as much money, if not more money, being cover artists instead of doing internal artwork.
Yeah. So stressing.
I mean, I can't hate them for that. So it's whatever.
Hate the
Sanderson sucks. Joe Abercrombie is the man.
Okay. There we go.
Who's Joe Abercrombie?
Mr. Bungle. What should you check out from Joe Abercrombie? This is way off topic of House of the Dragon.
Is Joe Abercrombie related to the Abercrombie and Finch company? Can't be a very popular
name.
It
is not this. It's a common name, but I cannot imagine that he comes from that line.
He's the heir to the throne of the Millie Alcock. I love saying her name, by the way. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. You don't know.
Pronounce it.
Alcock. Colt. Now you take a shot.
Millie Alcock. Alcock. The younger Rainier actress is great in season 1 and super can't wait for a Supergirl. Yes, I know. And I called it. When we did the
That's enough of that bullshit. I don't need her rubbing that in my face.
Can't help it that I can't help it that I have good instincts. But yes, when we did
I have a finger on the pulse of the Hollywood industry. Whatever, man.
I got the main four. The main four, because I got three. The main three, right? I've got Superman, Lois, and Lex, and then I got Supergirl right. So I feel like I'm winning in Gunn's universe right now.
I don't even know what you're winning. We didn't have a bet. We had one bet.
And it was a draw.
It was a draw.
I wish we did have a bet.
It was a draw. Finished the First Law last month. Can't wait to read that. So the First Law trilogy is apparently Abercrombie. Joe Abercrombie.
Abercrombie. Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Bungle. I will check it out.
The only books Amanda's been reading are by Sarah Moss.
Not true. I'm reading Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare. Actually, Omar, I did suggest, because Melanie was like, I need something to interest me to like read on the plane.
Oh God, what did you get her into?
I can let you borrow the first like book or two of the Court of Thorn and Roses, I was like, you could get into like fairy smut. It's a big thing on Book Talk. Everyone loves Sarah J.
Fairy smut. That's exactly what my wife needs to read.
Yes, I was like, well, she might borrow it. I might give it to her. So she can read it.
So
might give you some ideas.
For what?
I don't know. It's very sexual, and given I just love the way they describe sex and how to write sex without getting very vulgar is hilarious.
I read a manga called Bondage Fairies. I know how fairies get down, okay?
Do you though?
I've read the manga 20 years ago.
You had some fairies.
Okay. You remember what I said earlier about like the human mind and when you just hear things and you start imagining the worst? That's where my brain went with fairies. Okay, back to this. Fairy smut is a beloved genre.
It is.
I'm sure it is. Ideas to try on Omar this AMA. I am not reading Bondage Fairies again. Anyone watching The Dark Matter? That's probably the most interesting show.
No, I am not watching that.
Yeah, I need to watch that. Okay, let's go back to this and then we'll talk about everything else.
Yeah.
Let's talk about first episode. Not a lot happened, honestly.
No,
You're reintroduced to a lot of characters that makes you think, did I watch all of season 1? Like, I don't remember this character. Did they have kids?
I got the Kingsguard, the twins. I forgot about the Eric.
I remember them because that was kind of a big deal for some reason.
Well, because they were both part of the Kingsguard and they were twins, and the fact that they separated, right? One chose Rhaenyra's side, the other one chose to stay with Aegon. That's a big deal. They're family. That's what it's supposed to be metaphorical about what this war is doing. It's tearing families apart, not just the Targaryens, which are a family of its own, but more than the Targaryens.
Got it. Okay. Anything else you wish to discuss? Maybe the lighting?
The lighting again, I have to turn the brightness up to see the show. But
Lydia came in the room when I was watching. She's like, "Is the TV off?" And I was like, "No, I'm watching House of the Dragon."
Yeah,
this new $5 billion camera equipment that they have for some reason has true dark. I don't know what kind of equipment you need to watch the lighting.
Even in the lightest scenes when they're outdoors, like. Even when she's like, she goes and finds like Lucerys's body like on the beach, and it's a light day, like it's dreary and overcast, but it's still brighter than being in a castle, and yet it still feels dark. It's just dark. Other than that, I can't comment on the lighting. But no, you're right. Not a lot happens in the episode. It is just, I think what this episode is doing is reestablishing where we are at with different characters and starting to set things in motion that are going to really come to a head as we get through this season. I mean, there's a lot of intrigue going on here we're seeing like with the sea snake, which is Corlys Valerian. We're starting to see things that'll be set up. I imagine that will start to play out later on in the season. Like, for example, Alicent getting that, Lars saying that, hey, they're putting people here to spy on you and all that stuff. So I feel like there are things being set up, and that was the purpose of this episode. And then they, of course, need to shock us with the ending that helps fuel the fire that we're going to see for the next 7 episodes.
And I love hearing the start theme.
Me too.
The use of the theme, wonderful.
I miss the Starks a lot.
The special effects, the dragons still rock. Oh my gosh, the dragons look so good.
Oh yeah, still solid.
And we're using a lot more dragons. I mean, I don't know if you remember season 1 of Game of Thrones and how less of a budget they had back then. So much so that they had to skip the big battle. Better in what sense, Mr. Bungle? Like more violent, or like the description,
or stakes are higher? I mean, I do like the one in the book. I do like the fact, like how the psychological play of it all. I think that is intriguing because in this one, there is no. She chooses her daughter. She tells them the truth, and she loses her son. Right? There is no one survives to know that his mother would have picked him to die, right? Probably because Maylor
So
was
it's like a Sophie's choice in the book. Like you got to pick.
in the book. Yeah.
I mean, it's Sophie's choice here too, right?
Yeah, but it was
they couldn't tell which one. Those guys are stupid. They couldn't tell which one a boy is and a girl.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you see those Targaryens with that long hair. I would be when they're young. When they're young and they haven't got the
Amanda, these people are willing to kill a child. Do you not think they would check under their clothes?
I assume they would have. I mean, that's what I was.
That's what I was like. What? These are creeps that are okay killing children. I seriously doubt that it's above them to,
I'm assuming they're going to get caught because one of them does get caught. Like they never make it back.
Spoilers for episode 2. Not that I give a flying crap about these characters, but we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
So let's see. We talked about the return of the show. I was excited to see the show back. I'm just really glad it's back.
Me too. I was missing
a little bit slow.
Acolyte is not doing it for me. So I'm like between. I don't care for Acolyte, and I
haven't seen anything past those 2 episodes. Was it 2 or 3?
It was 2, and 3 was a flashback episode. And this episode, I just watched it, and I was like, "No, whole hell of a lot."
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it unless you're gonna make me review it.
We will probably review the full season at some point.
I'm like, how stupid are these guys? They acted like it wasn't even possible to check.
What was was the queen gonna stop him? I mean, she was being held at knife point. She was.
Dude, I can't believe what kind of character she is. She pointed at her child.
I know.
That is messed up. Like,
what would you want her to do? Let herself be killed? I mean,
if it was me, I would do anything. I'll be getting my kids out the damn window and then sacrificing myself because that's what you do as a parent, which shows you what kind of character she is.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I this is why I watched it a couple times. I realized when she was talking, so there's a scene in this episode earlier on where when you first get to see Aegon in after you see the Starks and everything, and you get Daemon, and then finally get to see Aegon, and they're in just like doing their daily stuff, and he tells Helena, go get Jaharis, go get the boy. I want him to come with me to the council meeting. And she's like, why? And he's like, I want him to start learning, even though he's, like I said, he looks like he's 4 or 5 years old.
He's the piss out of the Master Coin.
Yeah, he's Jason Lannister's like does not want like this kid around. He's getting really annoyed by him.
I saw a meme where they said Jason Lannister's the only happy guy at the end of this episode.
Yes, because he didn't get
what? Damn, that's dark.
That is dark. Well, he's not playing her anymore. But she says she's afraid of rats. In the scene, and he says
that they keep seeing rats.
Yeah, she keeps seeing rats. She's afraid of the rats and what they'll do. And he looks at the maids. He's like, the queen says some like strange things sometimes, doesn't she? Because she can see the future, but it never makes sense because the way she sees it and the way then she articulates it, because her mind's not really all there, but she can see things. And I realized, when I watched it the second time, she's talking about the rat catcher. So she sees it. That's why she's scared of it. She sees she sees it, but she can't like verbalize it properly because it's messed up in her mind.
Well, she's also it seems like they're still kids, right? How old are they supposed to be?
Aegon? Oh God. I don't think they can't be more than like 18, 19. Like they're young. Like they're not.
I know it's a TV show and they have to change some things just like they did in the original Game of Thrones, right? They had to age up the kids. Because these kids were being sexually active.
Well, very young.
You can't do that on television. Like in a book, yeah, sure. You can't do that on television, which was a great TV show, by the way. I love that show. I don't know. Like something seems off with her, and it could be her youth. She's not like.
So she makes some in season 1. She does make some remarks that if you're like, I would do a rewatch if you can. She does make some remarks. I don't remember which ones they are, but it leads you to understand that she is seeing the future, or she's like, something of the like something of like that. She can see the future in some way, but it doesn't make sense to her. And that's why when she articulates it, it doesn't make sense because it's not clear.
Yeah, I did not get 20s from that. Wow, he's in his 20s. My goodness.
Yeah, he looks like he could be early 20s, like young, like 21, 22 maybe.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, he looks young.
Yeah,
like
he's not as old as like Rhaenyra and Allison, who look like they should be in their 30s or 40s. So,
they both look good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they're just
Allison, man.
I could say be in their 30s because if she would have been like,
she might be a dreamer like Viserys or Daenerys.
There we go. That's probably yes.
Hodor.
That's probably true. Yes, I think she did know the strong house was burning. Yes, that's one of the things that she had mentioned. Yeah.
Aemon looks older than Allison. I don't know. She
gave the blonde hair
in every episode she speaks.
Yes, that's why I was like, she gives. That's how you know that she can speak it. But it takes me a minute to realize what she was saying in that last one. I was like, why is she talking about rats? What is that?
Do you think they're going to Game of Thrones this series? And by that I mean is adding a lot of aspects that were not covered in the books, and maybe changing it up some.
I think they'll change it up. Obviously, we've already seen they changed the ending up, or the blood and cheese story up, right? I imagine that
deleting one character. I mean, the same thing was done in Game of Thrones too. Early
yeah, that's true. I
don't too many like Moon Boy. Like we didn't even see Moon Boy in Game of Thrones, right? Like they deleted characters. There's just too many.
I think that because this one, like unlike Game of Thrones, Dance of the Dragons is more like a historical record. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's not like it's supposed to be a fictional, book by any means. It's giving it's just giving like the facts of what happened. So I feel like in the Targaryen history, so they can play with aspects of it without having to actually take away. Like, I mean, a lot of stuff that happened in season 1, like with Rhaenyra and Daemon and the sexy stuff that before they actually do get together, like that stuff's not in the books. Like that, they all made that up for the sake of this show, which worked very well. But I think that you'll see that stuff because they don't really need to change up a lot of the main facts about what happens in Dance of the Dragons. As long as we get to who's Moon Boy?
That's one of Cersei's conquests. I just remember Jaime Lannister talking about all the people that Cersei Lannister fucked Moon Boy and all like his cousin and all these people. Like he just kept repeating it over and over in the books when he came back to King's Landing before he took off again. Lord of the Rings did the same with Tom Bombadil, and thank God for that.
Yeah,
the queen chose the younger son, but the killers kill the oldest. And before they go, they say to the son she chose, "Your mother wants you dead." That's gonna leave some trauma. I don't think this would impact Game of Thrones since it's so far. That's what I'm saying. They could change enough to surprise people that have read the book, or I guess piss them off, right?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yes, that's it. I'm boy, his cousin. Like Cersei in the books, man, she was just having fun.
Well, I would too if Robert was out doing his own thing.
Robert was dead.
She was doing it. I didn't read all the Game of Thrones books. So that was after Baratheon died. Okay, I thought it was before.
I read a book. Yes,
I am also shocked that Omar read a book.
Shut up! I've read plenty of books. I haven't in a long time because I've been busy reading comics, which is a form of literature. Thank you so much. And that's not the beer talking. That's Uncanny Omar talking.
That's fact.
Only pictures. Well, yeah. Did they make a Game of Thrones comics? I think they did.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. There was it was the Knight and what was it? The Knight and I can't remember. Knight and the Onion. The Knight.
Oh, the Onion. No,
no.
I know who you're talking about.
Sir something in the Green. I can't remember, but Dynamite released a few of them.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about because I think I've read that one. Oh,
I may have given that to you. I can't remember who published it though. Fire and Blood has pictures. Yeah, they did. I think Dynamite had some, and then somebody else, maybe Abrams' book, somebody else did a Game of Thrones comic. I'm only on the second episode of season 1. Does it get better? Oh, yeah. Wait, of House of the Dragon?
House of the Dragon?
It's excellent.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I mean, House of the Dragon season 1 kept.
If you like Game of Thrones, like the early seasons of Game of Thrones, yeah, it's solid, man. It's a good show.
It's a
100% recommend.
Enjoyed the first season. There was yes, there's a lot of time jumps in the first season.
Yeah,
to get to where we are now, but I don't think we're going to see that this season. I think we're strictly going to stay with the timeline now of a war. So I don't think we'll have to worry about major time jumps. Though I am curious. So that's what I am curious how they do with the way the ending of Dance to Dragons, like what happens to Rhaenyra, what happens to everyone, and then how do we get to like who wins in the end, right? That stuff, there is a lot of time that lapses in that, and I wonder what they'll do with all that. If they'll modify that to fit the means of the show's timeline and get us to the end, because yeah, I can't really talk about it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't read Dance of the Dragons.
Please don't.
And I know Matt Smith is no doctor. Yes, not in this one. He is as far from the Doctor's personality in House of the Dragons, and he's farther than the personality of the guy in Morbius. He is like on a whole other level.
He's on morbid time.
He's farther than that. But
I will say, if you like season 7 of Game of Thrones, you'd like this one. Yeah. There's most likely not going to be any more time jumps for the rest of the show, which I'm happy because I like the cast. The Doctor's worst nightmare. So anybody that has watched the first episode of season 2, and of course my wonderful co-host,
yes,
what would you all give House of the Dragon season 2 episode 1? Ladies first. Sure. What would you give season 1 or season 2 episode 1?
So for me, I think overall I would have to give this an 8 out of 10. I mean, it was no, I lied. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. It was a good start. It was more about reestablishing characters, but that ending did set a lot of things in motion. I did appreciate that. And there were some good moments for Rhaenyra and her son and the introduction of the Starks. But the pace was a little slow for me, but that's only because I think they had to reestablish things. So I expect it to pick up now that we're getting into the next episode. So there we go. 7 out of 10.
I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10. The ending reminded me just that dark era, right? These things happened, and you're reminded of how horrible this world is. It's not about happy endings. Remember, that was the whole tagline of Game of Thrones, right? If you think you're gonna, what was it? If you think there's a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention. I think Littlefinger said that to one of the characters who ended up getting killed. Right, like if you think there's a happy ending here, you haven't been paying attention.
But all I wanted was for Jon to be the king. I'm just so pissed off.
7.5 millies out of 10. Where is Max Appleman? Puss's review for Amanda House of the Dragons, season 27, episode 1. Show follows the kids from Bill. Oh my god, where did you see this?
What?
There is a review. Is this like a fan? Where is Max?
There is some oral sex. Yes, you are not wrong, Max. Pretty good oral sex, but
8, 7, 7.5, 8 rats out of 10. 7.5, 8.5 out of 10. I think it will get better episodes. I can't wait. 7 out of 10. 7. I already read that one. And Matt, what's up, buddy? He says an 8. Solid 8. That's it.
I feel like we're all around on the same page then.
Well, I can't wait to see what's next for the characters, and I'm ready for some. Ryan's giving it an 8. Max is in bed. Tell him to wake his ass up. And I'm ready for some deaths. Right, that's the thing that's missing from the show. Like, I feel like the first season had the long, drawn out death of the king, and then we got the death of the prince at the very end when he got his dragon eaten by the big ass dragon.
Well, and don't forget, Valerian's daughter died in birth, right? Damon's wife.
Oh, in the first episode?
No, Damon did kill his wife, but I mean when he married Valerian's young daughter and she died.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Giving birth, right? Yeah. So there was that one too. That was sad. There was a couple.
Isn't enough for you, Omar? No, I'm talking about one of the big characters. Like I want, because that's the thing about Game of Thrones. You don't know who was going to be safe. Like your favorite character could be off, and we haven't seen that yet, right? We have a big cast of characters, and they're all pretty safe right now. But now that the time jumps are over, I'm ready for some characters that you like to be killed off. That's what made Game of Thrones good. You're like, oh man, I really like this Stark kid. Rob. Rob's gonna go places. He's gonna avenge his dad's death. I remember watching that with friends, and I was the only one that had read the books, and I was waiting. And man, they did that story justice. Because it was all told through the mom's POV story. Because you don't expect her to die, because it's all told through her narrative in the books, right? And then she feels the cold steel. And I'll never forget, man, it was sad in the book. Like when he grabs her hair to cut her throat, she said, please don't cut my hair. Like she thought, please don't cut my hair. Ned loves my long hair. And that's the end of that chapter. And I was like, I remember throwing that goddamn book. I was so pissed because I love Rob. I was like, oh, what? Did not expect that to happen, man. But that's the kind of shit I want in this show. I want to get attached to a character and be like, oh man, that character is so awesome and badass. He's dead. What the hell? Yeah.
I think it'll happen. If you read Dance the Dragons, there are a lot of deaths. I mean, it's war, right? And that was, I think, a lot of people's problems with season 8 of Game of Thrones. The lack of the main characters dying. We're like, wait a minute. You have the Night King. Huh?
Was there a season 8?
Thought it was season 8. Yeah. Or is it 7? No.
I don't remember, man.
Season 8 is the last season. I'm not crazy in this, right? Yeah, it was the last. There was an 8. It was like 6 was like the last of like what we would get.
Yeah, they took the red wedding and stepped it up with the pregnancy and stabbing her pregnant belly.
Yeah, like, that was rough.
Whoa. Yeah. Like we were sitting there with, I think, my friends, one of my friends' wives was pregnant, and she was like, no. Oh, she was yelling. Oh man, yeah. And I know people people that had read the books were recording reactions to share with people, across YouTube, like people's reaction, because it was like you just killed off like 3 of the main characters.
And
I that's why I liked it.
Yes.
Wow, look at James coming in. So season 8. Episode 6, Amanda 7, and
what was that? Which was episode 6?
That was the grand finale, man.
It was only 6 episodes. Damn.
That's what made it bad.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, people want to forget about season 8, but yes, there is 8 episodes. Yeah, but I think that was a lot of people's issues with that 8th season is, they fought the Night King, and it like. There wasn't a lot of death. There was like not a lot of people, none of the main characters died. In Dance the Dragons, a lot of these, we're not going to see a lot of these characters by the end of it.
Good. That's what I want to see.
And I hope that they are strong enough.
Yes. Thank you.
And they're confident enough in that people want to watch it for the show itself, not because of the characters or the actors, that they'll kill the characters off when they're supposed to die, simply because that's what's supposed to happen. Not because we got to keep the character around because no one will watch the show if they die. No, you don't know that.
Yeah, that's what happened to freaking Walking Dead. That's why I gave up.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Well, I want to say I gave up on that show as soon as Frank Darabont was out in the first season. I was like, well, this is going to go to crap. But I wasn't the biggest fan of the comic anyway. They put several seasons into 8 episodes in season 8.
They did 100%.
Which is just an awful idea. You don't see the growth. You don't see the fall of Daenerys, right? You don't see her going into that stage of like, I'm just going to burn this MFer down.
Yep.
Instead, it's like that. Oh, you killed my handmaiden. Oh, the guy that was in love with me since season 1 is dead. I'm going to go kill everybody. There were so many issues with that last season.
I know. And her falling in love, it was just so.
Let's get out of Westeros. What's up? What's going on next, Amanda? What are we talking about next week?
Well, nothing. At least not. You're not. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I'm going to do an episode next week. It depends, but I will hopefully be doing an episode next week on something. I don't know yet, though. It might be one of our fun episodes. Because
Yes, Bruce.
Bruce, we have not. Okay, first of all, you can wait till the end of July to.
Let him finish his sentence. Let him finish his sentence first. Are we ready to talk about how wrong Amanda was? I could stop there.
We have to wait to see how good Deadpool does to really say.
What was the thing? Did Bruce say Deadpool is not going to do as good as Inside Out 2?
No, I said Deadpool would do better. He thought Inside Out 2 would do better than
Deadpool.
Yes.
I thought it was that Inside Out 2 is going to be the first movie in theaters that will make bank. I thought that was
that the episode. Was that the bet? Yeah. Well, anyways,
it was the butt
of the bet. Money. 155 million opening weekend is, well, that's good for any movie, but for a movie right now,
it's excellent.
It's, I mean,
like, guys, man, I remember when you texted
broken 100 million. Hell, no one's broken 60 million in the last month, 2 months. Like, there's no it's opening weekend. I mean, eventually they make money, but we're not used to that. This is the first one. And, everyone was like, wow, Disney wants to go back to making sequels and stuff. I don't know. Disney might be onto something. People don't want to see the new properties.
You said it would not do well because you did not see much promotion at Disney World.
That's at Disney World. Well, I didn't. But, I mean, I don't know if that's the reason. I just said it wouldn't do so well because a lot of people don't have as much confidence in
Amanda, as a guy that's been wrong.
It's okay.
I'm just gonna say this, as a guy that's been wrong once in the last 15 years, I can give you some advice. It's okay to be wrong from time to time. It's okay. I'm joking.
Well, what it did prove though is that because they're I think it was, I don't know if it was during
Alex,
and I don't know if it was one of the earnings calls where they said they want to get back to making Universal stories. So for a long time, oh God, yeah, Bad Boys, right? I did make some good money at the bottom. Not 155 million.
I didn't help because I didn't go see it. I should have seen it, man. Bad Boys were live. That's okay.
But they said they want to get away from making so for a while, a lot of the stories that were coming out, Turning Red, Luca, they
haven't been doing that well. And honestly, Pixar hasn't been doing well with their sequels either.
Because Toy Story 4 made a lot of money.
I thought it was Toy Story 5 was the last one.
4.
Wait, wasn't there a 5?
No, you're thinking of the Buzz Lightyear movie. That's not technically.
Buzz Lightyear is what I mean.
That's not it's really. I mean, I wouldn't call it a Toy Story movie because it has nothing to do with Toy Story, really.
He's not even voiced by Tim Allen, right? He's voiced by Chris. Is it Chris Pratt?
No, Chris Evans. Chris Evans. Oh, Chris. Hollywood Chris does voice him. But no, that was probably the last sequel of a prominent Pixar property that did really well. But they haven't had any sequels since then. Everything's more been original. They tried with Soul, they tried with Turning Red, Luca, and now they say we want to get back to Universal stories, not what they've been doing is letting these directors tell their own stories, right? That's really essentially what they've been doing. Because I mean, if you look at interviews of the director for Turning Red, a lot of it's based off of their own experiences.
I like that movie.
I loved it too. I've related to it because I was a young teenage girl in love with a boy band at one time who went through puberty. I mean, I get it.
And now you're a middle-aged woman in love with a boy band.
Yeah, I have actually. I made a whole TikTok about that. Actually, that's not even a lie because people would make fun of Fall Out Boy for being a boy band. And then there's all these comments, there can't be a boy band because they play instruments. I was like, okay, physically, yes. I mean, by looking at them, yes, they're not a boy band. But when you think about the aura and essence around them, everything that happens around them does feel very boy band-esque. If you go to a Fall Out Boy concert, 85% of the audience is female or women. I was like, and the way they interact as a fan base, that is very much a boy band fan base.
It's the last episode I'm on for a couple of weeks, and we're talking about boy concerts.
But anyway, so they want to talk about.
Oh, it's going to be on Disney. When does it come out on Disney Plus?
I'm sure it still has the 3 months is what they usually do.
I'm happy that an animated film is bringing people to the theaters, and
it's not Garfield.
Well, I don't care what it is. I mean, I have this fear of people just not going back to the theater, and some of it has to do with the way that we, get media nowadays. It feels like comic books, right? In a way.
Yeah.
There are people out there on the internet, on YouTube, that all they do is speak negative about comic books. And we see the same thing with like Star Wars, right? Like speak negative about Star Wars. It ain't worth seeing. And a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people just take everything they say to heart. And they don't buy comics. They don't watch Star Wars. And then there's movie reviewers that just crap on everything and they don't go see movies. And I have a little bit of a fear, and that's what people are doing. They're like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this reviewer. He's funny or they're funny. And yeah. And they don't go to the movies because said reviewer doesn't like it. And I always tell people, even when I crap on a story, go and check it out and read it for yourself.
Yes.
What? Are you serious? $400 million with a guaranteed 100 days in the theater that should close.
Well, that's good. I'm happy for
that's what I'm talking. That's what Pixar needs, though. We haven't seen
Pixar needs it. Yes.
And Venom 3 is going to be awesome. I can't wait.
The only problem with that is
that sentence.
Problem with that is, are they going to be spitting out sequels now because they think that's the only thing that's going to work? That's my only fear is, are we going to be getting just sequels of Pixar properties? Or what I'd like to see them do is, yes, maybe we've gotten too far into letting the directors tell personal stories. And the nice thing about Inside Out 2 is that they are universal because everyone has different emotions, right?
Shut up, Brian.
Brian, we don't know if okay.
Dude, it's that thing again that we go through all the time. Yeah, Star Wars is dead now because they got pissed off about Acolyte. Cool, don't watch it. I don't care. But we still had Andor. When Andor was back, I remember people were like, oh man, Star Wars is good again.
That's when you say productions, it's just wait till Andor.
Just wait until Andor comes back. That's exactly the mentality of people.
Exactly what you said. Yes.
Exactly. I know, because I saw YouTube videos tell me, shut up, Ryan. You're not
First of all, whoever above said that Pete Wentz is cringe, is not cringe.
Oh my God, did I miss
He's
that?
a fantastic gentleman.
Where is that? I need to find that right now.
He is just
but Patrick Stump is cool though.
Okay, I'm gonna get that. That's true though. He is.
I just think Pete Wentz is kind of cringe. I love that. I know what that dude looks like now.
Maybe Pete Wentz 2006, but modern day Pete Wentz is like,
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce. We love you, buddy.
Yes.
Bruce, by the way, sent us a box of Madam Web DVDs, which Amanda will get 3 copies of.
I don't need 3 copies.
Guess what the kids are getting for Halloween this year? If they're gonna keep putting Venoms out, I think they'll start putting up. No. I think this is the last movie that Tom Hardy is doing, right? He's not doing Venom anymore. I think
so. And please, yes.
I know. Looking forward to Frozen 3. Is that a thing? Frozen 3. Dude,
well, that's not Pixar, but yes, again, yeah.
So good. Frozen 1, I remember. I mean, I have fond memories of Frozen 1 because it was my daughters. Oh my gosh, and that's all we listened to one summer was the Frozen soundtrack.
Oh, I know. Me too. I even have
Star Wars died last week.
No, Ryan Wilson, it didn't die.
Oh, this breaks my heart. Furiosa, which sounds like a Harry Potter spell, by the way.
It does.
It's digital sell next Tuesday, looking to lose about $200 million at least. But it was it wasn't a great movie, but it was a good movie. I thought it was a solid movie with great cinematography.
It is interesting that they it's not like Mad Max is a franchise that people.
Right, we've had 3 Mad Max movies and 1 new one, and people are flipping out that the franchise is dead. I took my kids to see Inside Out 2 on Sunday. We loved it. Was it as good as the first one? No, but it was exact kind of movie.
That's how I feel about a lot of sequels, minus like Toy Story.
Story. I was gonna say Toy Story 2 was such a better movie than
Toy Story 3.
Oh, that made me cry.
No,
but dude, I remember watching the theater. And I was like, I'd love to see all of the toys melted into one giant plastic ball. And that's when the movie should have ended. And Ryan, you're just trolling.
Are you trolling me
women
right
ruin
now?
everything.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh,
sex,
you are
Ryan.
trolling me.
I only like Acolyte because the person who runs the philosophy tube had like a really small role in it. That's awesome. Look, and the thing is like what you like, despite of what anybody else says. I like a lot of crappy stories out there and a lot of crappy movies, but I don't give a crap. I'm a grown-ass man. I like whatever I want. It makes me happy. That's all that matters. I don't give a crap how many people dunk on Garbage Pail Kids or Avengers The Crossing. I still love that shit. We need more 3D animated Star Wars since those are the ones people like the most. I miss the Clone Wars. That stuff was so good. Star Wars needs a musical and have a story as great as What's Opera, Doc? Let Rey sing from a cliff as she calls the element. The Frozening, that is not what it's called. Is that so? Frozen 3 is a real thing?
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah.
Is the movie called Venom: The Last Chapter? I hope so, because I hate every.
It's not The Last Dance, right? I thought it was.
I hate every Venom movie, and I've seen every one.
Yeah, it's Venom: The Last Dance. It's Venom: The Last Dance.
Shut up! It is not Venom: The Last Dance.
Yes, it is. We talked about the Venom trailer. We said it's The Last Dance.
I swear to God, Amanda, I only watched the damn Venom trailer because I was doing the show with you live, and that was the first time I saw it. Damn, that was stupid. So next week we are getting a Kristen Dunst movie tier list. You're gonna get people on NMC Discord to join you.
Are there that many folks who are interested?
Kristen Dunst movie.
Kirsten Dunst.
Interview with a Vampire. Spider-Man. What the hell else has she been in?
She's been in.
She was just in Civil War, which was way overhyped.
Was it Drop Dead Gorgeous? Is that the one?
How did you not mention She's All That? Not She's All That. What's that movie that you like?
Bring It On.
I'm sorry.
Virgin Suicides. Amazing
there we
Spider-Man.
Go. There's the Amanda I know.
Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, at least. Civil War.
Right? Griffin X, I'm tripping out. Frozen 3's the thing? I didn't know that was a thing either.
Be wrong, Griffin X.
Bruce is saying Frozen 3 and 4 and Toy Story 5 are coming. I believe Bruce.
They need to make money. They need to make money. They cannot. They're too afraid to rely on original, like small original stories. And someone says Zootopia 2, which I am actually excited. I love Zootopia, and I've been looking forward to it.
Oh, that was a good movie. I liked it. That wasn't Pixar, though, was it?
No, it's not Pixar. Yeah, Toy Story looks like the only one that I'm seeing as another Pixar. I mean, I doubt they're going to do another Incredibles. They could, though.
Whoa. Hey, it's only 9:49. What are we doing here?
Monsters University didn't do that great. I don't know why we want to
sucked.
And I love Monsters Inc. And like when we were at Disney World, we went to the Monster Inc. laugh floor, and that was so much fun.
Are y'all ready for Arcane season 2?
Yeah, the last season too. They said they're not doing another season.
I like Godzilla 98, and I'm not afraid to say.
Are we talking about
Matthew Broderick?
Like Godzilla.
That's okay. Hey, Cold Dog likes it. It's awful as hell. Oh, I actually like Return of Swamp Thing. I know it's shit, but I don't care. I like it. James Mangold was looking to work on. Oh yeah, he was.
That's awesome.
Crossing is a decent Iron Man story. However, End League. I love that you keep pushing that on me, brother. It's a Rick Remender story. If you haven't read it, coming this year. Don't forget Moana 2.
Oh yeah, which I still.
Dude, my wife got on me because I said Moana was okay, and she's like, "What? It was a good movie," and I was like, "I just thought it was okay. I'm sorry." I like Lilo and Stitch better. So Zootopia is huge in Japan. Disneyland Japan. I'm going to Universal Studios Japan. Has a full section.
Really?
Yeah, because we got to go to Mario World. That's where it is. And Mario World is coming to America next year because Bruce was telling me it's being built for next year at Universal.
At which Universal, Florida or California?
Well, he lives in Florida, so he was excited. So I assume in Florida.
Okay,
looking forward to more It's the guy that did like Dexter's Laboratory, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like 80% of what Remender puts out. That is a very specific.
What are we talking about?
What was the 20% you didn't like? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, I want to know what type of Rick Remender do you not like?
Honestly, I think the greatest story could be Sonic 3 going up against the new Avatar movie. Did Sonic 2 make it in theaters? I thought it was like a Paramount release for some reason.
No, Sonic 2 got in theaters, right?
Did it? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, it was the Knuckles show.
Knuckles, yeah, they have a show, but not the
Yes, Swamp Thing was underrated. Unfortunately, it was canceled before it even aired. It was
Project Viking. Where have you been?
So he's been there. I'm actually meeting up with him when I go to Canada here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, nice.
Me and my boy Alex are gonna hit up some karaoke.
Wait, you're in Canada? I'm gonna be in Canada at the end of August, seeing Fall Out Boy.
All right, that was enough of that garbage. God bless how many times I have to hear Fall Out Boy in this stream. We're talking about comics. We're not talking about comics. We're talking about House of the Dragon.
First of all, we're talking about movies, and second of all, they also write comics, so it's like
I mean, why can't Bruce Springsteen write a comic? The most American comic ever. We'll call it Born in the USA.
American.
It's out of California already. They're still building it in Florida. Cool. Florida Park is called Epic Universe. Thank you. Universal California already has Mario World, but Florida is redoing their park and adding an expanded Mario Land with a Donkey Kong. How do you know so much about, I don't know, jack crap about Disney? That's awesome. No more parks in Florida, man. Please. Are you down there too? Is anybody not in Florida? There's a Knuckles show?
Yes, there is.
Yes. That's not the beer tongue. There is a Knuckles show.
There is a Knuckles show.
Yes, baby. Sonic 2 was in theaters, and it was packed on the second weekend. Oh, good. I saw Sonic 2. I liked it. No. I like Sonic 1. I thought Sonic 2 was okay. It was okay. I think there was too much plot for them. Their Fall Out Boy, because of exposure to them, causes irritation.
That's not true at all, first of all.
Swamp Thing, the recent TV show, was great, in my opinion. It was good, even though it got canceled.
Yeah.
Omar, did you see Tommy, where Cola horror director teamed up with Norwegian animator Rasmus A. I'm butchering these names. Servistein, and the movie is Spermageddon. Yeah, Bruce, can you find a 4K
good reviews? Did it get good reviews at the film? The Anansi?
Oh my God! With a name like Spermageddon, how could you not get anything but a standing ovation?
Here it is. 2 narrative threads. I'm reading this. One is an emerging love story between 2 awkward teens, Jens and Lisa, who are having sex for the first time. The other is an eventful quest of Simon the Seaman and his friends to reach the golden goal, the egg.
Okay.
I don't know.
Mario Kart, you can go in the middle of Tokyo better than any theme park. I heard about this. I also heard from my friend that lives in Tokyo that people hate that. They hate the tourists blocking up the traffic. Dang. It looks fun though. I don't care. Sonic 3 this year, not joking. Okay, Sonic 3 is a thing. Damn. I am so out of the loop. Okay. You did not like Scumbag. RTOV.
I'm looking at my remender first. I'm like, wait.
What is RTOV? RTOV. Why am I looking at my shelf? I don't have all my remender down there. Better be about sperm whales. Simon the Seaman. I want to see a movie called Sperm Race. Imagine the chaos.
Oh, Righteous Thirst for Vengeance? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, you didn't like that? Righteous
Thirst for Violence.
Yeah,
well,
I like that.
Okay, well, on Image Comics, it says Righteous Thirst for Vengeance.
Yeah, that's what it's called. A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance.
A Righteous Thirst.
Honestly, I really liked Remender. There's not a lot that I don't like by him.
But he can't get him to interview him. He's not an interview guy.
He said I sell a lot of his books and he's watched my channel, but he won't interview with me. What's up with that?
What's that? Whoa.
William, are you still here? William was the guy that was like, hey, Remender, I bought this because this guy had it on his channel. That was like, see? I did not pay them to do that.
Oh, yeah, that's at New York Comic Con.
Yeah. What
I was too busy asking Remender what it was like to work with Joe Trojan from Fall Out Boy.
I think you ruined it for me. You ruined
that is not true.
These are stupid ass questions this guy's gonna ask. Hey, Kane, how have you been?
Hi, Kane, how's it going?
Keanu Reeves is the voice of course he is. You know, actually, that may pull people to the theater. Keanu Reeves doing the voice here. I'm here for support. Well, we're done talking about House of the Dragon. Now we're just having fun and about to wrap up.
Yeah.
Rick doesn't like you. What'd you do? I didn't do anything. I just said, hey, you want to come and talk to me on my show? And he was like, I don't really do interviews. Oh, wait, I recognize you. You put up, thank you for all the kind words. Yes. That was William. He's still here. That was fun. I'm going to remember like every day. Dude, yes, that was awesome. That was awesome, man. You were like, oh, man, I bought these books because Omar said they were good. And I was like, see, I didn't pay. I don't know William. I didn't pay him to say that.
That was fantastic.
That is my existence. Oh my goodness, Ken.
I know.
I am running on fumes right now. And beer. Just for tonight. And then I gotta go and edit. And I gotta finish reading Captain America by Mark Grunwald so I can do a video tomorrow. And I'm gonna try to see Inside Out too.
Yes, we're gonna see it this weekend.
I'm gonna destroy Amanda's record of Inside Out 2 not doing well at the box office. Yeah.
I'm okay with it doing well. I love the first one. And I like the fact that ennui and anxiety are two new characters in the book or in the show, the movie.
It's a movie. Omar's favorite actor, Will Ferrell, will be executive producer.
First statement.
Why? Why would you say he's my favorite actor? I don't like Will Ferrell. We've been over.
He was so excited when he showed up with the boys.
I was not, because when Amanda messaged me, she's like, oh my God, your favorite actor just showed up in The Boys season 4. And I said, who the fuck is it? Octavia Spencer or what's her name? Melissa McCarthy. And she said, oh, you're close. And I was very close.
It was a comedian. I even think Octavia Spencer is a comedian. Okay, I have issue with Lilo and Stitch live action because
wait, they're doing a live action Lilo and Stitch? What's the point?
If I don't know, guys. I don't know about that, but it's
fine. Thank you, Bruce. What's under the dust jacket for that Zdarsky Daredevil? We know it's not the case death of Daredevil. I don't know. I haven't opened it yet. I need to open it. This is the book I'm opening tomorrow after I'm finished Mark Waid's, because I gotta. Luckily, I've read most of this. This is by the way, I'm a basic bitch, man. David's like, which cover do you want? I'm like, oh, I like the standard cover. That's cool because it matches the standard cover of volume 2. Let's see. It looks like Daredevil and Daredevil. Oh, it's Marco Cicchetto's Daredevil. Spoilers. Yep. Oh man. One of the most anticipated Daredevil books for sure. Oh, yep. Sorry, Amanda. What do you want to talk about? They even make How to Train Your Dragon. I think Amanda was excited about that.
No, I'm not excited about it. I don't like that. I know they're making one. I don't like that idea. I think How to Train Your Dragon is fine as an animated movie. It's a cute animated series. They did have it on Netflix for a while. That's fine. I don't need to see.
It's DreamWorks, isn't it?
Yes, I don't need to see Toothless as a live action dragon. I really
Is DreamWorks making the live action movie?
I assume so. I don't know. I assume so. I cried at the end of Hidden World.
Is that the third one?
Yes.
Well, I remember watching that with you.
It was beautiful. And it
was a good movie. No reason to ask, but Glenn Powell is Booster Gold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's my pick for Booster Gold.
I've loved Glenn Powell ever since Everybody Wants Some. I think that dude's hilarious. He's got a lot of charm. He can do it. They picked such a badass cover for the standard. Absolutely, man. That standard is awesome. I need to ask for the spines before I do my video, though. Disney, made a ton of money from endearing animated classics, so let's make a series of live action pieces with soulless looking characters. Why are we losing money?
Like a live action Stitch would not have the same appeal as Stitch in the animated.
I was just talking about how I like Lilo and Stitch, and now you just broke my heart saying there's a live action one coming. Yes. But you know what? Here's the thing. I'm at that age where I just don't care. Whatever.
Yeah,
I really do think Transformers broke me. When Transformers 2 came out, like 1 was okay. It was passable. But 2, I was like, this is the death of the American cinema. And I think this is the death of my childhood. So at that moment, I decided, no matter what remakes, no matter what adaptation, no matter what reimagining they do, it will not take away my joy of the original. So they can do whatever the hell they want to. So that's the age I'm in. Sure. Yeah, they can do. I have not seen, thank God, thank you, Amanda, I have not seen a single live action remake of a Disney movie because Amanda's never wanted to. I think she herself reviewed Aladdin by herself.
I did. I reviewed Aladdin.
I'm not watching that. I'm sorry.
Which I did. I mean, I like Naomi Scott as Jasmine, and
she's a good-looking girl.
Yeah, she had a great song by herself. I thought it was great, but yeah.
Remember my whole thing about release the Eddie Murphy cut of Moana? We had a whole hashtag going, release the Mushu cut.
Always instigator. I want to, there's like a live action Shrek musical. So technically,
it's
this has already happened. So I mean,
on Netflix.
Yeah, you can watch the musical on Netflix. So technically, you should quit watching movies because there's a live action Shrek that already exists.
Yes, to live action How to Train.
And I have yet to.
Who's in it? Who's in How to Train a Dragon?
Huh?
Who are the actors?
I still have Tokyo Ghost up.
What? Why do you have the Rick Remender Tokyo Ghost?
Because someone was asking about it.
Oh, it's good. This is not trolling, but the Spirit, the horse movie, horse movie and series is one of my favorites and needs a live action.
Oh, that cute little girl.
Oh, that just sold Amanda on it.
No. So Gerard Butler is going to be in it. Nick Frost will be in it too. So this kid named Mason Thames, I'm going to say Thames because it looks like the River Thames, like that's how his name is spelled. So I'm going to say it's Thames.
You can say whatever you want to because I don't understand.
He was the young kid from Black Phone or the Black Phone. Nico Parker, remember the original, the daughter in Last of Us that died in the beginning? Spoiler. Yes.
Thanks for that, Amanda.
She's playing Astrid, who was voiced by America Ferrera. That's the daughter of Tandy Newton. Gerard Butler will be Stoic, which he was Stoic in the animated series. Nick Frost will reprise his role as Gobber. Nope, Craig Ferguson. I'm sorry, it was Gobber. So now it'll be Nick Frost. Julian Dennison is going to be Fish Legs. That is fire. What's that fire starter from Deadpool 2? That kid.
Who was it? Rusty?
Yes, Rusty. Yes. And
I did not see J.M. Mateus is going to make a big announcement, but
Gabriel Howell is Snot Loud, which it's
going to interrupt him.
Is not Go to Hell. Oh, sorry. I was looking at you. Asked me, Bronan James.
I forget when I ask you a question, you just go on a hold.
Harry Trevel. I mean, they're all young actors. I recognize some of them.
Transformers was only possible because of Megan Fox. I remember watching that with Melanie, and she leaned in and said, when she's on a motorcycle, she said, "Holy crap, that woman is hot." And I was like, yeah, she's okay. Oh, man. I think we used to have that GIF, and then Amanda deleted my GIFs.
I didn't know. I did not delete your GIFs. Other people deleted your GIFs.
Other people that don't like sexy women deleted my GIFs. Did you see Gillen and McKee? Yes, I saw it, which is really interesting because we already have them in deluxe edition. But it's a good place if you haven't gotten it.
You're missing half my GIFs.
Wait, which one?
Well, I don't have This Is True. All I got is that. No. Where's my Jodie Foster? This Is True. That was my favorite.
I did not. Melanie then. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
What were we talking about?
All these.
What?
Huh?
What?
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
They were distracted by Salma Hayek's boobs.
What's that? What was that? What I was looking at? It was the first Inside Out. 800. Oh my gosh, 858 million.
Not back then.
Oh, Deadpool 2 made less than Deadpool 1? Really? I could have sworn they made more. Honestly,
I thought they did too. But
no. Okay, for real.
I'm not surprised.
Terrence Howard will forever be hilarious because that Joe Rogan thing. All right, real talk. I can't believe I just said real talk.
Jesus Christ. Did say real talk.
My wife was telling me about this, and my comment was, "I like Terrence Howard as an actor."
No, it makes
sense. I don't look to actors to tell me about science. or anything like that. Like, why? Dude, I think one of my favorite things people were bitching about was the what was it? The actor from Acolyte talking about Anakin Skywalker blowing up the Death Star, messing up the character, right? They're like, how is this guy playing a Star Wars character? He's a fucking actor. I don't expect these people to know the lore. Just like I don't expect Hugh Jackman to read 50 fucking issues of Wolverine to get ready for the role. This is what they do. I don't care what these people are into. But that show does suck, though. I wasn't a fan of that show. That did not save that show. I leave the stream for 1 second. Team Deadpool.
I'm Team Wolverine.
Oh, come on, man. Look, my daughter even knows. Team Wolvie, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's thank you. That is the writer's job. An actor's just supposed to act. Who cares, man?
I don't know.
Like, I don't care if he knows the difference between Anakin. You think Harrison Ford gives a crap about the lore of Star Wars when he was dead in episode 7? He's like, nah, give me a fake back. But I don't have to read this ridiculous George Lucas lines anymore.
Yeah, I don't think Harrison
is this now an AMA? Oh man, did I make this an AMA? I'm sorry.
I think you did.
I've just been drinking and I've been under a lot of stress lately.
No, Deadpool 2 made 785 mil. 700.
So it made 4.
A little bit more. Yeah, like a little bit, but they've made about the same. Yeah.
Ah, well, that's cool.
Well, Bruce, I'm going by Box Office Mojo. That is my go-to. That's what Box Office Mojo 785. Yes, it's still less than Inside Out. I get it. Bruce, I am wrong. I apologize. I will not bring it up ever again. I am wrong. Deadpool will not make as much money as Inside Out 2.
You don't know that yet.
I guess so. I know.
You don't know that yet.
I know. We're assuming victory. It's fine.
The thing that it's got going for it, the big thing it's got going for it, is the return of Hugh Jackman, and the whole thing about Marvel superheroes. Now. Exactly. That is the huge thing it's got going for it.
It is still rated R though, so that's but people are still taking their 8-year-olds.
But I mean, people, dude, irresponsible people.
They'll take their 8-year-old son.
Some people will take their kids to go see Deadpool
because they like Deadpool, the character. Yeah, so they may still take him.
But I think honestly, I don't know, Bruce. I kind of see Deadpool 3 making more than Inside Out. I could be wrong, and I'd love to be wrong because I'd love to see family movies succeed.
Well, we just have to see what legs Inside Out 2 has. I'm sure they'll have a normal drop.
Inside Out R-rated.
No, it's not. I think it'll be to see what Inside Out's legs will be. That's going to be like, is it going to be front loaded and then the back's just obviously what happens there.
Thank you all so much. I got a lot going on with my dad and his health, and leaving this country and leaving my dad here. I got to go to the doctor with him again. He's had like a doctor's appointment every day this week, and in the middle of that, I got to edit and work, and I don't have time to answer 15 emails about the mapping of Spider-Man 6 and seeing if Marvel can change it, please, for the love of God. I wish I had the time to read that. And honestly, I wish my life was so good that the worst thing that could happen to it is Marvel announcing Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 6 and not the mapping that you wanted. And that's where I'll stop talking about that. It's like when actors talk about any big cause or activists and they get paid to spout fiction, right? I don't understand why people care what actors think. Or anyway, that goes on.
Because they don't speak. People are like, you have a platform. Why aren't you speaking out? And it's like, well, because you're not going to like what I have to say anyway. So why are you getting mad at me?
We still need the Mushu cut, man. Inside Out 2, director's cut, all those thoughts.
I mean, she's a teenager now. I'm expecting. Do we know how teenagers are today? Because I mean, Inside Out 2 really should be R-rated.
I can't understand half the skibbity toilet teenagers and what they're talking about.
When Melody and the girls were over at the pool today, like skibbity toilet was all
Ohio.
And what's that other thing?
I have a list of things that kids cannot say in my house, and what the Sigma. And
they were saying that too, and I was like, "What does that even mean?"
And all these things, and I'm like, "Am I too old that I just don't understand what the hell they're talking about?" Just remember, if you're going to see Deadpool 3, you're supporting a queer character. Happy Pride!
Happy Pride Month, man! Thank you.
That's right. Okay, there you go. Thank you for that reminder. Always an instigator.
And if Chapel Roan music shows up in it, it'll be fantastic.
What are these words you guys are saying?
Ohio?
Ohio's another one that's on the list. It's ridiculous.
What's the Sigma?
That's insane productions. What the hell does that even mean?
Oh.
I'm going to turn into that old man. Get off my lawn. Agreed with the actors. And I had to tell graduate students today not to give students their views on politics. That's not their job, and students don't care.
Yeah.
Fact. Remember how we used to get so excited for picks? Oh my God. I know, they were so pretty. They were so beautiful. I love.
They have a Pixar short in front of Inside Out 2, or are they even doing that anymore?
I haven't seen it.
Well, I know. We're supposed to go this weekend.
Huh. Well, okay, but is that inflation though? Like, are we taking account?
Remember, Inside Out came out in 2015. We do have to account for inflation. We're looking at almost 10 years at this point between the two movies, because 9 years.
But 2 was $400 million. That's double, right? Number 2.
Yeah.
After 6 days, number 2 at 400. That's pretty good for back then. Plus up that Riz please do not, Alex, I'll beat your ass if you talk to me like that when I'm in Canada with you. I get enough of that for my kids. An Inside Out Lisa Frankenstein crossover. No short in front of. What? Are you serious? I don't know how I feel about that. That was the beauty of Pixar movies, was to see
maybe they don't have shorts anymore.
Sometimes the shorts were better.
Or are they putting them all in on Disney Plus now?
There is a collection. There was a collection. I don't know if they made a physical collection of them. Quick comics question. Whom, in your opinion, could be considered a quintessential Bronze Age Batman writer? Dennis O'Neil. My vote goes to Dennis. Yeah, mine too. Dennis O'Neil. Absolutely. He changed the game.
No, I don't think Fleek's the thing.
Yeah. No. You're an old guy if you're using.
You're an old guy now. Fleek is not the thing.
Lisa Frankenstein was a fun movie this year.
And I'm sure Slay is going to be on its way out soon too.
Thank you, Kane. You are so wonderful. Thank you for that. They played 5 commercials, then like 6 trailers, but no shorts. Dang it.
Why the
Amanda has that Riz. You got that Riz, Amanda?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the heart that they do.
What are you doing? What was that? Are you throwing up
the Gen Z heart? I'm still trying to figure out.
What's the Gen? Shut up. There's no such thing as the Gen Z heart.
Is it this? It's like their fingers do not.
They did not come up with that. That's been a thing.
Do you use those fingers to make a heart? Make a heart with your fingers, Omar. Make a heart with your fingers.
Okay, you want to put me on the spot, Amanda? What's your favorite Sublime song? There we go. You want to put me on the spot?
Maria, because that's what I know.
I knew you were going to say such a basic thing.
If I make a heart, it's going to be this. They do this thing that looks like I'm doing the fingertips. And I'm like, here's the house and here's the steeple. See all the people. Like, that's not like.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And then these 2 dudes were like making out, right, or something. Perverse that. Yeah, I remember that. Last one I remember was the dumpling one. Forget that movie. Oh, yeah, that was cute. Oh, thank you, Kane. I'll give you a virtual hug right back. We learned gang signs. Yeah, Amanda was throwing up.
They're not gang signs.
You're just trying to make it work.
How they do it.
Coming from healthcare, have drip is never a good thing.
That's also true.
Bet. There were 3 volumes of Pixar shorts released on Blu-ray. I missed every single one of those, and now I need that. Truth is, Jess has all the drip and Riz. Let's be honest. I don't think he understands any of that. Make it hard.
Nope.
Man is auditioning for a Snoop Dogg video. She's trying to take Martha Stewart's spot. That's what she's trying to do.
I was not in a game before.
Oh my God, Amanda, are you serious? She was in like the Get Along gang. She ain't no damn gang.
I mean, the closest thing I was to a gang was living in Philadelphia, and I don't even think that.
Here we go. What the hell does that mean?
Okay. When you and your boyfriend at the time have to go pick up his friend because he was knifed and attacked because he got in the business of a drug dealer and a woman he should not have gotten the business of. And you take him to the hospital because he's all cut up. Then you live in an area that's not so great. I'm just saying.
That can be found in Kentucky too.
Where?
You just hang around all the rich neighborhoods, Amanda, with pools and trampolines and all families. You need to go to the dark side of Kentucky. We need 900 more for 100K. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I told Melanie, I'm gonna get a chain. I'm gonna wear that 100K plaque in the house. I'm gonna wear it like Flavor Flav for like a month, and I'm gonna be like, I need you to go make me a sandwich. And she's gonna be like, who do you think you are? And I'm just gonna point at my chain. And be like, look, 100K right here, baby. It's a plaque. Respect. I'm gonna do that to my kids. I need my car washed and keep pointing at my chain. They're gonna be like, what is wrong with our father? Man has a tattoo for every one of her victims. She's killed Fallout Boy.
And Pierce the Veil.
Pierce of the Veil. Man has a Tuesday in Little Rock. Whoa.
No, you're right. No,
she lived in Little Rock.
I lived in Little Rock too, Brett. Oh, man.
Maybe it's just you that's bringing out the worst in people, Amanda. Did you ever think about that?
Well, I don't live in Chicago or Detroit, so come on now.
Amazon has the Pixar shorts on Blu-ray in stock. Buy now, never to be made again. See, that's FOMO, Bruce. I may fall for that.
I don't have that much FOMO on Pixar shorts.
She's got FOMO on tickets to go see Fallout Boy. Flavor of Omar. Yes, baby. That's what we're doing in the house. Bow was in front of Incredibles 2. That was the last one they did with a movie. The new one dropped straight to Disney Plus. Oh, I miss them playing them in front of movies. Oh, they didn't. Yeah, because they didn't do that with what was the ogre movie? What was the your boy Tom Holland?
Yeah, Wish? I know. Onward.
Wish. Onward, yeah. Wish.
Onward. They did do one with Onward. You're right, but Onward. Well, and I hate it. Like, I don't think Onward would have done. I don't know. I don't know if it would have done that great, but again, it did suffer from the pandemic because it was out. We literally saw it over the weekend.
It wasn't that good of a movie.
No, it wasn't. It was not great. And then, that is when I started to realize that Tom Holland might just be only good as.
No, back then you were still in the Tom Holland train. You were like, oh, he's a good actor.
He could. Yeah, and then I saw Cherry and I said, no, damn it, no.
Well, now he's doing plays and stuff. Like he's in.
Yeah, he's doing plays. I'm good. Yeah, I mean, he's got a thing. He's got a. Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad actor.
I think he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be.
Yeah, fine. He'll be fine. He made enough money from Marvel. I think he's good to go.
Yeah, and anytime he can come back too. It's Kentucky. Got to be NMC Mafia. That's right, baby. Speaking of Tom Holland, what are your thoughts on Deadpool Spider-Man film?
Oh, I would love a Deadpool Spider-Man film.
Like the two of them feeding off of each other. I can see that.
I can see that. It'd be interesting.
We need Spider-Man back. We need these recognizable characters back in the Marvel universe, in the MCU. Absolutely.
Come on, Jet. Don't talk to me about Ty.
I forgot about that little bastard.
I'm so mad he hasn't been announced as Iron Lad. A missed opportunity if I ever saw one.
Never forget that text message from Amanda. Like, oh my God, this kid just signed a 5-movie deal with Marvel. And I'm like, who?
I'm the only person who freaked out when I saw him at the end of Endgame.
Like, yeah, everybody in the theater was like, who's that kid? And Amanda's like, I'm telling you, he'll be back. He's going to be huge. He's going to be Iron Lad. That was like, you need to calm the hell down.
He's good in the Insidious franchise still. He's still doing that. He was in The Whale too.
Yeah. Float was good. It made me put out some manly eye sweat for sure. Always an instigator. You know what characters are still getting shorts in front of movies? Minions.
Of course they are.
I'll take your word for it. For 100K, David Gabriel finally brings his holy grail, Omni. We all still for Alf. No, we will not. Or with a big dookie gold chain. Yes, 100K on it. Hilarious.
Yeah, get a Kangol hat.
I'll be such a pompous jerk. I'll turn into a pompous jerk. I'll do nothing but like bad reviews of Star Wars movies. Of nothing else, he can live off Zendaya. Hey, until she's like, why am I dating this dude? He ain't got a job. Who would you want to direct the Spider-Man Deadpool? Edgar Wright. I would like to see Edgar Wright come back to the MCU because he was supposed to do Ant-Man. I just love that dude's like directing style. Big fan of his stories. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. And on that note, I gotta go and edit. Panda,
I gotta go put my kids to bed. I'm sure they're still up.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be back or not next week. That's up to Amanda. I will be in another country. I'll be checking in on the channel from time to time, probably if I'm allowed to, but I am supposed to be taking a break. So on that note, I'm going to let my wonderful co-host, who's wrong once every 10 years.
It happens once every It is a pre-recording, but it's fine. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember to follow us on all of our social media channels at nearmintcon. Remember to check us out on Spreadshop for some great Near Mint Edition merchandise, and also check us out on Patreon for $1 a month or more. You can support us here in what we do and get some really cool perks along the way. And last but not least, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint. Good journey to all our one, and we will see you all soon. And I will message on social media if we're doing a show next week. So I'll let you guys know.
Okay. Sounds like a deal. Have a good one, everybody.
My heart.